My name is Jaelin Robin, and I am an undergraduate student at Hamilton College. I research the role that Major League Baseball played in social change in the past and what their responses and actions mean for the future. I would like to pose the question, what is the relationship between MLB and racism? It is important to understand baseball as a contested racial terrain. Integration showed a contestation of the racial hierarchy within baseball. At this time, MLB is integrated for players, but not for management, coaches, and higher positions within organizations. A quote from Jackie Robinson that resonated with me was, "I cannot stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag. I know that I am a black man in a white world. In 1972, in 1947, at my birth in 1919, I know that I never had it made." Most of what happened behind the scenes was hidden from the public until Robinson spoke out about his experience after his career. So, fast forwarding to today, MLB was the last major U.S. professional sports organization to speak out about the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. The initial statement received a lot of criticism from fans and players. An example is an immediate response by a former black player, Preston Wilson, who claimed the statement definitely could have been stronger. Wilson believed that it was bad that MLB's initial response did not even address police brutality. Rather, it said, "We need to be better." There's clearly still resistance here to address social issues publicly. These two quotes or reactions by African American players show how baseball has been contested across time. The differences in the leagues and players' reactions across time leads to the question, what does it really mean for MLB to stand with the Black Lives Matter movement? MLB has not been known as a league that has taken the front in addressing social issues, and that has been consistent throughout its history. So, why are we seeing a shift in response and support now? Why was that not the case in the past? One way I want to explore this question is through the case of the Boston Red Sox. The Boston fan base has had a reputation of being hesitant to support equality and racial inclusion within the game. During the time of the Civil Rights Movement, organizations were prompted to change their ways, and in 1959, the Red Sox became the last major league team to racially integrate with the addition of Elijah Pumpsie Green. This was a full 12 years after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. So, why was Boston so late to add a player of color and integrate? Was it management? Pressures from the fan base? In terms of Boston's history with baseball, that is what I want to understand. An important recent interaction between fans and players of color was the Adam Jones incident in 2016. He was berated by racist taunts by fans at Fenway Park. The only punishment for the fan was that they were kicked out of the stadium that day. However, the city reacted, and the next time Jones returned to Fenway Park, he received a standing ovation from the fans for how respectfully he handled the situation. Boston's responses to current-day racial injustice movements show a shift in terms of what management and owners are saying only 4 years after their response to Adam Jones. Hanging the large banner over the Green Monster was a big statement for the city to stand with Black Lives Matter. The Red Sox Foundation website also features a June statement from President and CEO Sam Kennedy, condemning the murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, calling them stark reminders that racism and police brutality continue to be pervasive in America. He also wrote, "Silence in the face of injustice is unacceptable." This ties back to what I'm interested in, finding out how fans are discussing the Red Sox's relationship to social justice and Black Lives Matter. Most data I found when conducting research was journalistic, and I think that is an indication that more scholarly research must be done on race in Major League Baseball. And if further research were to be done on this topic, I would explore this in a handful of ways. To wrap up, I would like to emphasize the point that understanding the dynamic between MLB and race is essential. Given MLB's relationship with race, do we think that powerful institutions such as MLB can be worked with in solidarity, or are their actions just performative and done because of outside pressures? Are the Red Sox an organization in which systemic racism is now being challenged, whereas it previously may not have been? There does not seem to be much current work on racial politics in baseball. By doing this project, we can better understand if MLB as an institution is participating in and promoting positive social change by working to diminish racism.